must be saved. Africa must be saved. Africa must be saved. And if you're in Africa and Africa is not saved, you need to be very clear that you are answerable unto God. Africa cannot be lost when you and I are in Africa.
Africa must be saved.
The Holy Spirit,
The Holy Spirit must come down.
Africa, by their small issues, when Africa is perishing, how do you wish for the world when not even one full 24 hours in all your life you've never wept for Africa? He cannot find even an equivalent of 24 hours of your prayers and my prayers on behalf of this continent. How do we expect him to move on behalf of Africa when you have not cried for this land, when you have not cried for the soil of Africa, and yet you want the world? Because the Bible and the English people, they say charity begins at home. It looks like I'm speaking to people that are in the UK. I'm saying charity begins at home. So if you and I have never wept for the continent of Africa, which is the strongest in witchcraft, if you and I have not wept, who must weep for Africa? And yet you and I want the entire world. We want the world, but we have not even cried just for Mozambique. We have not wept before God just for Swaziland. We have not wept before God just for even this nation, South Africa. We have not wept for Lesotho. We have not wept for Zimbabwe. We have not wept for Malawi. We have not wept for Nigeria. We have not wept for Gabon. We have not wept for Cameroon. We have not wept for Chad. We have just not wept for the nations in Africa. How must God move on behalf of Africa? The enemy has dropped wapenvlees to be our prayer items. The enemy has dropped our bank balances to be our prayer items. The enemy has dropped all other things, but the greatest agenda of God, the greatest agenda of God is mankind that is lost. We are highly representative of Africa right now. Not all of us are born in South Africa. Inside of me is the blood of Swaziland. Inside of you is the blood of Mozambique. Inside of you is the blood of Zimbabwe. Inside of you is the blood of Malawi. Inside of you are Lesotho's. Inside of you are Nigerians. Inside of you there is the blood of the Ghanaians. But we have never wept. All we're thinking about is the bread and the butter. And yet the agenda is bigger than the bread and the butter. And the Lord says, I'm looking for some crazy one that's going to be there. I'm looking for somebody so that when I do whatever I do in this season, I am not doing it on my own. I'm utilizing the servants, the women of God, the lovers of Jesus that are in the churches of the living God. And he comes here and he finds that all that I'm praying about are my children. All that we're praying and laboring about, somebody may find us here laboring, crying, as if we're weeping for the agenda of God, and yet we're weeping for solutions. And yet he says, seek ye first the kingdom. It is about the kingdom. What is the kingdom? The kingdom is bringing those that are lost back to the kingdom. The kingdom is weeping. The kingdom is being on the intercession towers. The kingdom is crying unto God. The kingdom is emptying hell and filling up his kingdom. But he finds us being concerned about our monies, about our children, about Kandobo Sotabese, Hilaba Shikatona Masanda. The Lord is hungry. The Lord is looking for servants. The Lord is looking for people that he can send into the world. The Lord is looking for warriors. The Lord is looking for soldiers. The Lord is looking for those that will say, I may not have anything, oh God, but if it takes just a body and a life, I am available to go and war inside the camp of the enemy, trusting in your weapons, trusting in your provision. But Africa must be saved. Africa must be saved. Africa must be saved. You cannot receive what you do not honor. You know the law of honor. You can never receive what you do not honor. So the Lord can never give us Africa if we do not honor Africa. What does it mean to honor Africa? It means you've got to understand that, oh my goodness, when you are looking for, we are even called a dark continent. Have we ever wondered why we are called a dark continent? But I know a God who says, I shine in darkness. I know a God who says, what is darkest, what is lost, that is where I am inclined to be found. So God is waiting for Africa. God is weeping for Africa. But God requires in a available body. The work of God must stop being about us, but about what is it that He is demanding. Why did He die on the cross? He did not die on the cross for a job. A job we will release by grace and you shall receive. But He died for more. He died that all the accusations, all the decrees of darkness, all the written down and signed judgments of the enemy against what was born and created by the Master, that it comes back home.